Okay, so the way the rest of this video is gonna go, I'm gonna basically be talking about my friend, her son, and the other kids that have allegedly drowned in a pond. And this video is gonna include recordings, pictures of a graphic content, and very telling. I don't know how long it's gonna be up, so I ask you guys to share it. I've tried to find the contact information for these other parents, for these other kids that have been found dead in the pond, but I couldn't do it. So if you can share it, and if you even know any of these parents' Instagrams, I would be so grateful for you to even relay that information to me so the word can start going out, because these deaths are continuing and they're not going to stop until somebody rings the alarm. And I guess that person got to be me. After I'm done talking about, my friend and her son and these kids, I'm going to relay it into my own personal life and my dealings with both satanic agents and Christian agents who all have a play in this world stage game, and how it all ties in together to these ritual sacrifices that are happening to these kids. And I am a first-hand witness to it all. So I have the receipts. I'm gonna back it up. And I don't know how long this is gonna be up, because they reported my last video for some ridiculous reason. So I have to repost that one with the clips cut out of it. Either way, all of my videos are going to be put up on YouTube. It's going to be found on my Instagram. And yeah, the word's got to get out there. So first and foremost, I want to mention that I was best friends with this child's mother. We worked in the classroom for years, working with autistic students. And I would be at her house every day, be around her sons all the time. I even worked with one of her sons. So we were very, very close. In the year of 2021, May 31st, she was in Jacksonville, Florida, away on vacation because her friend invited her there to celebrate a birthday party of some sort. She brought her two sons with her, one of them being this little boy and the older nonverbal autistic son that she has. And she brought them on vacation with her. May 31st, I'm in New York, partying up at a club. I get a phone call, and the phone call tells me Gavin is dead. He was found dead in a pond. And I'm like, dead? What do you mean dead? And I just literally fell out on the floor, crying, bawling my eyes out. Like, my friends had to console me. I was gagging, all of that. I knew what it meant for her, because this was her son that was verbal. He was moving around, he was talking. And finding out that he was dead was like, as I said before, I'm speaking to the friend on the phone. I'm like, do you need me to come out there? I'll come out there. No. We got it. We got everything under control. We're going to take care of everything. I'm like, okay. So as I said before, when I found this out, I'm devastated. I eventually create a GoFundMe. I reach out to two of her friends, one of them being a mutual friend that I knew personally. And, we got this GoFundMe running, and it raised over $12,000. So she came back. Me and the mutual friend were like, yo, we got to be here for her. So we were visiting her basically every day, making sure she was okay, making sure everything was raising the money, just trying to make sure she was okay. Like, we didn't know exactly what to do, but we just tried to do as much as we could to try to make her feel better, even though that's literally impossible in a situation like that. But that's our thought process behind it. So as the days went on, she started being able to talk more about the situation. I'm sitting there talking to her, and she starts telling me about the injuries on her son. And that's when I was like, whoa, wait a minute. She started to tell me that Gavin had scratches on his head, and that this part of his face was missing, and that his knees were broken.
When I saw him that morning, the tip of his nose was gone, his lips was gone, his cheek was gone, he had scratches in his face, his chest was open, meaning that his organ was removed, and his legs was broken. It was not stated in the autopsy.
And while everybody else around her was accepting that it was a drowning, I heard these injuries, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, nah, this doesn't make any sense. And boom, light bulb, I remembered what I learned through my times of running that page, of learning all this information about the demonic elite and what was going on in the shadows of the life, like the dark webs of reality. I'm like, this part of the face missing, that sound like frazzle drip. So I'm like, I don't tell her this in my head because I'm like, yo, maybe I'm being paranoid, whatever. Gerline, my friend, also tells me that, the cops say they have a video of him walking in the water. So I'm like, all right, cool. If these injuries sound sus, but if they got a video of him walking in the water, then it gotta be something. Because I'm not trying to make it hot. Like, I don't want to, make her, trip out, on some, conspiracy stuff. Like, I'm not going to go to somebody on a hunch. So I'm like, oh, do you have the access to the video of him walking in the water? She's like, no, I don't have any access. My friend took care of everything. She's going to handle everything. And the same friend that invited her to go to Jacksonville, Florida. So already in my head, I'm like, okay, which makes sense because she's grieving. But now in retrospect, when I look back, the friend was taking care of everything for a reason. But I'm going to get into that. I got receipts. So I'm like, Gerline never seen the video of him walking in the water. She hasn't had access to it. The friend is taking care of everything. You got a child who's alleged to have drowned with only this part of his face missing, scratches on his forehead, and broken knees in a drowning. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'm going a little bit crazy. Maybe I've gotten way too into these conspiracies. Let me go talk to a mutual friend before I go to Gerline with any of my thought process. So I go to a mutual friend who's a cop, who was the same one that was helping me run page for the GoFundMe. And I say to her, how can we get access to a cop's video of him walking in the water? And I call her. And then I start telling her about my suspicions. And she's like, you know what? This actually seems like it could be true. After, when she came from Jacksonville, Florida, back to New York, another one of her friends was acting really weird. I mean, not in a normal sense of a 4-year-old just died. First and foremost, when Gerline came back into the house, she comes out smiling with a white dress and says, we have a dress for you. And in my head, I thought that was weird, but I'm like, you know what? This could be a cultural thing because they were Haitian. I'm not from that background, so I don't know what this is. So I kind of brushed that to the side. But after Gerline told me about these injuries and I'm seeing the funeral to-do list and just some weird stuff, I'm just like, I don't know. This is not really, I'm not jacking the vibes. And I'm already getting suspicious vibes because, first and foremost, the friend that invited her to this whole shindig is taking care of everything. Medical examiner report, everything. And I guess that's okay in a grieving situation. But it was also the funeral to-do list. They had her dress as a to-do list for the funeral stuff. And I'm like, why does that even matter? It was just giving me some weird vibes. So as I'm speaking to the mutual friend, and she's a cop, we start doing some digging. And lo and behold, we find out that Gavin is not the only child that drowned at this pond. That it's actually been happening quite a few times to kids around the same age. And the last kid, before Gavin drowned, has a homicide investigation open. So I'm like, wait a minute. All right, boom. We seeing all this, we seeing a pattern here. We're seeing multiple kids around the same age dying in a pond. And the last one got a homicide investigation open. And now we trying to figure it out. I start doing even more research because, again, I'm like a dog with a bone. When I feel like I'm getting towards something, I don't stop until I get all the answers. So I'm researching and I'm looking into this. I'm noticing the friends' behavior, specifically these two women. I'm noticing their behavior. I'm noticing the funeral to-do list and how they got this woman that invited her to this party as a priority on the funeral to-do list, her dress, where she's staying. And I'm like, who does this? The focus should be on Gerline and Gavin, not about what she's going to wear. This woman is going to wear to a funeral. It's some big party celebration. I'm like, bro, y'all treating her like she's some top queen or something. It's just not sitting right in my spirit. Not only that, this part of the face is missing. Knees are broken, allegedly from Gerline and the father. And it's just giving weird vibes.